Hi and welcome to Urbanimmersive. This tutorial will show you the basic procedure to shoot a successful AVU immersive visit. So let's get started. Let's review the equipment you'll need. A heavy-duty tripod. For precision, a panoramic rotation unit with click-stop screw, an adjustable three-way head, a professional digital SLR camera with a very wide-angle lens, a cable release to avoid vibrations when taking bracketed photos. It's time to set up your equipment. First, adjust the tripod legs so the camera will come out to your chest, about 4 feet 4 inches. When extending the legs, use the lower section first. This way, if you need to do stair shots, you can use the other section and not disturb your initial setup. We will review this in more detail later. Always level the tripod first. Add the camera to the tripod. Then insert the cable release. Level the camera from left to right. And front to back. You can leave a small tilt down forward. It's better to see more of the floor than the ceiling. Swivel the camera to make sure the leveling stays constant. Now let's look at the camera setup. The f-stop number can be set around 6.325. This will give you a good depth of field while letting in enough light. For typical lighting conditions, the ISO number can be set between 200 and 500 and should be increased in case of extremely dark environment. Always use full screen metering, never spot or selective. Put in a fully charged battery and, of course, a memory card. Let's see the camera menu. For the picture quality, select small, rough or smooth. Do not use RAW as each file will be too big to transfer easily. Turn on the shoot without card option and the review screen to maximize battery life. You must take 3 exposures of every shot for HDR process. This is very important and will be covered later on. Set the bracketing for plus and minus 2 steps. If the area is darker or brighter than usual, you may compensate accordingly. Don't forget to use automatic white balance. Make sure you format the memory card before the shoot. Any residual pictures will cause errors in the HDR batch processing. Turn off auto rotate and auto power off. Be sure the internal clock is set properly, and that's it, you're ready to shoot. While top quality SLRs use full-size image sensors, more cameras use smaller size, such as this one. With this model, you'll need a 10mm lens. For a full-size sensor, a 16 or 18mm lens will do the job. Set your focus slightly below near infinity for a better depth of field. It is absolutely imperative that these settings stay the same for the entire shooting. We recommend you check your camera setup regularly to avoid costly mistakes that will require reshooting the entire visit. Try a quick test first to see if everything is operating okay. It's very important to decide on the north position, as this will be your starting direction for every panoramic shot. Our software aligns 24 shots at a time in a specific order. As a general rule, your first patch should be the longest. Once you choose your north, you must start every panoramic in this direction. Never change it during the whole shooting session. Going clockwise, start shooting your first panoramic, 3 bracketed shots at 15 degrees increments, for a total of 24 positions. Again, it is important that you always keep 15 degrees between shots. Your last shot will end at the 345 degrees position. This is an actual panoramic shot in real time. As you can see on the left, 3 bracketed shots are taken every 15 degrees for a total of 72 pictures. We'll process those 3 shots into one HDRI picture, resulting in a 24-shot panoramic view. A well-lighted panoramic can be shot this way in under a minute. Adding the time to reposition the tripod, you can shoot between 30 to 40 panoramic in an hour, if you plan it right, and without any distractions or outside interference from people, cars, changing batteries, or memory cards. You can use the footprint of your tripod as a measuring unit to evenly space your panoramic points. In small areas, 2 or 3 spaces will help you create a smooth visit. For a larger area, such as a store, 4 to 6 steps will help you cover more ground and still keep a good transition between shots. Eight steps or more are only used in very large environments, such as outdoors or a large factory. Here are a few tips on handling difficult situations that often show up. For example, it's easy to get distracted in a high traffic area. If for any reason you think you missed a bracketed shot or a 15-degree increment, check your view screen. Better safe than sorry. Erase the pictures up to the last 3 good shots. Make sure the bracketing sequence is at the beginning and finish your panoramic. If for any reason your last picture is not on overexposure, it means you missed a shot somewhere during the shooting. Again, if for any reason you have doubts, check your view screen. When shooting around people, ask them not to look directly at the camera. They can still move around while you shoot, as this will help blur the faces in the HDR process. A good reason to carry an extra camera is that you will be able to finish your job if your main camera breaks down. Because all panoramics start at a common north position, you will sometimes have to start facing a blank wall or other obstacle lacking a point of reference. In order to ensure you are well positioned, simply line up the camera using the 90, 180 or 270 degree position. Once you are done, turn the camera back to 0 degrees and start shooting your panoramic. There are ways to minimize your reflection in glass or mirrors. Here, by opening the door just an inch, the photographer can redirect the reflection and create a spot to hide in. You could also crouch down or stand outside the reflecting area. Whenever it is impossible to hide, such as in front of a full-size mirror, photo editing can be used as a last resort to remove the unwanted reflection. One important note: when branching out to a secondary path, use the center of a doorway or hallway as a marker. Take an extra footstep forward if needed to evenly space out your panoramics and end up in a common center spot for both directions. Use a small penny to mark the spot if it helps you visualize a junction point. When you come back to start your secondary path, it will be easier to remember where you need to connect to the main path, and this will minimize any sudden movement in the visit. Here's an accelerated view of a small shooting session to give you a good idea of how it goes. Remember to always start facing in the same direction. Follow your shooting plan correctly. Check your focus and view screen once in a while, and most importantly, keep a cool head. Check out some of our finished virtual visits to get a better idea of the final product. You'll find the links at the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and good luck with your next assignment.